What's up guys, this is Sean and welcome to another episode of the iherng podcast, and today we will answer a question from Vincent. Hi, my name is Vincent and I watched your YouTube channel. It's been very educational and eye-opening for people who are very new in the property market. However, I've got an issue with my property SPA. So PDF floor plan attached. On the left hand side of the floor plan is the plan and I signed for 2019. However, in 2021, they sent me a revised confirmed layout, the one on the right hand side. The revised floor plan shows that the yard size has increased by approximately 47 square feet compared to the left. I've confronted the developer and set up a meeting to discuss this issue. The only explanation that they could give in the moment of time is that the floor plan was a draft layout, which indeed it was in the SPA contract 2019 when I first signed it. My concern was, number one, how can their panel of lawyers put a draft version floor plan in the SPA contracts? Number two, how can a developer release a draft floor plan to a sales agent to be sold to a customer? The developer said they will come back with a solution or at least a proposed solution in 2 weeks time. So meantime, I would like to seek your advice on this matter. What other options do I have so that I can do some homework and prepare myself before the next meeting? Much appreciated. So with his email, he also attached the floor layout, right? The main difference is actually the composition of the bedroom versus the kitchen and the yard space. Imagine when you sign a contract of the SPA 2019, the kitchen of this particular arrangement, then suddenly when you are asked to sign again, the entire layout kind of change. So that's the frustration that Vincent is going through. So there's a few explanations to this, Vincent. Number one, there's this clause when we sign the SPA, right? The developer has the right to change the layout of the building somewhat only if it's based on the requirement of the local authorities. For example, our fire department in Malaysia updated their requirements to the running distance. For example, doors needs to be way closer to dead ends, or the building department requires way more car parks suddenly. They will need to revise the columns so it affects certain layout in the unit itself. Those are actually allowed within the SPA itself, but it rarely happens because whatever drawings that is attached together with the SPA needs to be BP approved. BP here stands for building plan. The process of submitting a building for submission is from KM, Kebenaran Merancang. They also call it DO. This is when they fix the building form, height, rough layout, and etc. And if that's okay, only they will move into this stage called BP, building plan. And when that is approved, it's very, very clear. The drawings here are very, very precise and clear already. So I don't think it's a draft. And the fact that the salesperson tells you that it's a draft, it's kind of weird. So the two questions that you asked me, right, like how their lawyers can put a draft version or how the developer can release a draft floor plan, I don't know. Seriously, I have absolutely no clue, and that just reflects the professionalism of this particular developer, which I'm not going to put in here, right, obviously. And most of the time, this is because they want to get out to the market fast. After being in the development line for some time, one of the most stressful moments will be in between the submission and the launching of the project, because sometimes when we launch, right, for example, like now December, everybody's trying to fight for HOC or they are trying to fight for this year's KPI after being locked down for so long. The marketing or the CEO is just pressuring people, and this is when people try to shortcut or people try to just find alternatives in getting the product out. That being said, you sign and you have this copy right now to show that they made a mistake. So instead of asking how can they do that, they are not supposed to, but too late. Nasi sudah menjadi bubur. Instead, now think about what you want. In a scenario where you are not very happy, now I absolutely hate the layout, I absolutely hate the project right now, I have no trust for this developer ever again for my entire life, including my cucu cicit lines, I will never support this developer again, then you can actually just terminate the contract. Then the developer will need to arrange all refunds, the penalties of the loan cancellation, and etc. Then the debate would then be the rate of interest for your money. Let's say throughout the years I paid you 300,000 to 400,000 in loan, and now because you made a mistake, technically I didn't buy that product that you promised, so I want all my money back plus interest plus opportunity cost. And this will then be the debate between both parties. The second thing is if you are okay with the layout change is not that big. Suddenly your kitchen then becomes smaller. Instead of bedroom 3 becomes a smaller bedroom, now bedroom 2 becomes a smaller bedroom. In terms of square feet wise, it's almost the same, but you are just not happy, not impressed, or you just feel disgusted with the act. You want to punish the developer, you want to ask for something, some compensation. So think about what you want or how much you want. For example, now, okay, I will only sign this if you give me the kitchen cabinet, or I will only sign this or you fully fit my unit with all aircon. Then if they are not agreeable to the compensation amount, then forget it. Terminate the contract, then go back to scenario number 1. Get back your money plus interest plus opportunity cost. And if you are not satisfied with it, you can always go to the tribunal on using misrepresentation. And this term is a rather heavy term, I must say. Like, to accuse somebody on misrepresentation, right, it's very, very serious. And developers are pretty annoyed, or they're pretty pantang about this kind of things, because if one case, like you, let's say if you bring this case up to the tribunal and let's say you win, right, because there are hard evidence that they changed without any prior information, or now they just refuse to compensate to the amount that you want, and you win the case, right? Then this becomes a precedent that other residents or other buyers can use. So automatically, if any other buyers who also is going to bring the developer to court on the same case, the judgment will be based on the previous one, which is your case that you won. Then it will be a super massive big hole for the developer. Then this is the difference between public listed companies versus Sdn Bhd companies. Those boutique companies, they are those smaller companies. They're just building developments on the side of their business. This is most often the case. They will just let it go, whatever, man. As long as I finish building for you, whether you're going to buy from me again, it doesn't really matter, because just so happen they have a piece of land and they just try their luck. Unlike bigger players, those public listed companies, right, they are here almost forever or eternity. As long as there's land, they will be around. Therefore, they will put in way more effort in trying to control all these damages in that sense. And now in your case, Vincent, there's a difference between a revision. So is this an incident that they are trying to ask you to sign on the revision to confirm the new layout, instead of this being the unit handed over to you? So based on your email, it sounds like the developer is trying to tell you that there will be a revision on the building plan, and it's entirely up to you whether you want to take it up or not. If that's really the case, honestly speaking, there's nothing wrong, right? Yet let's say you can just tell them, you can be really angry on wasting your time because that's not the unit that you signed for, it's a draft. You can spread this on social media or whatsoever, right? Yeah, it's not professional, it's not a very nice thing to do, but do they have the right to do so? Kinda. Then if you're not happy with the reply, you can always go to the tribunal board to submit your case, and don't worry about whether you need superb knowledge on law or guidelines or whatsoever. No need one. So it's a very consumer friendly board, but the question will always be, what do you want in terms of compensation? And that is often the question that a lot of people don't know. I'm just not happy lah. I don't care, I am just furious with the services. But did you lose anything? Time. How do you then prove the cost of time? And can you prove the amount of hours being wasted? This is when most of the people got stuck. And you know what? You are not the only one who have sent me an email regarding this issue for this particular developer. So it means that there is a forum going on, most likely online, for this issue as well. So there's going to be a lot of other buyers who are facing the same difficulty. Maybe you want to go check them out, see what's the scenario like for the other people and what they are trying to do. Because sometimes if you try to speak to them as an individual, if they are respectful enough, then it's okay lah. But unfortunately, that's not for everyone, right? So there will be certain developers where they just don't care. And if you choose to exercise your right, by all means. So by having other owners and buyers all together, right, somewhat you will be more empowered to have a formal discussion, to have a formal representation of buyers versus developer. If not, right, there's always going to be intimidation of power and law and money and etc. Ultimately, it still depends on what do you want in the end. Is it just for ego, or is it for money, or is it just like, hiya, I really don't know what to do. So difficult, I just made a choice on this. It was supposed to be my home next year. Now I don't have a home. I need to get another one. In order to wait for a refund, it's going to take another year. Then in conclusion, it only comes down to several things lah. Ego, just to prove to the developer, don't mess with us, right? The other one is money. how much, or you still want to stick with a unit, maybe extra kitchen cabinet or aircon, or act if nothing actually happened. Those are the 4 outcomes that you can actually choose from, and I think that's all for this episode. This is a rather sensitive one because it includes the interest of business for the developer, but it includes the money and time and resources of buyers as well. And I'm super happy that you bring this up. The fact that this can be educational for other prospective buyers or other new buyers, for example. There's always a risk in buying new properties or new projects because nothing has been built yet, unlike sub-sales where everything is certain, the structure is there, then it's there. Nothing to guess. This also displays the difference between big developers versus boutique developers in terms of customer welfare or the importance of branding to them. And I think that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for asking. And for those who still have any questions regarding real estate, do just email me at taniherng@gmail.com, or you can just DM me on Instagram, iherng, or you can go to the Ask Guru segment in Property Guru website, #AskGuruSean, and I will answer your questions there as well. With that, thank you very much for watching and see you guys on the next one. Ciao.
When love comes in